because the lighting, the camera is better.
Okay.
But we probably should have it up somewhere, right?
It is now streaming live on
It is.
YouTube.
Yeah, I'm sure we are.
Look at that.
Let me get up the chat.
The chat.
Chat.
Nobody wants to chat with us.
No.
I
Well,
don't know.
you never know.
That's what your head says.
Sometimes it's a good place to be. You know, being in your head. Being in your head is never a good place to be. Not really.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, I
Getting
had to
the-
get where we are.
Look at that.
Let me get up
and
the.
that's us. Oh, no.
Most people have no
Okay.
Probably should mute it so that way I could be on point.
We don't have to watch the ad.
No. Yeah. That way they can see. So wait a minute. What happened? That's not us.
Oh man,
Oh, there we go. I saw us.
we're gonna figure
There,
it
there
out.
we are. Oh, hello.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Kay.
Who's here?
It says
Hey.
Kay.
Hi, Kay.
All right. So just thought we'd come on.
Okay, that's confusing me. Let's
it?
try this. I got
Okay.
this. You don't. How about you don't touch it?
Okay,
great.
that works for me. That works for me. I'm just, I'm doing,
You can go back
One
and
right thing.
forth.
yeah. So,
Fix it because he
yeah.
had me all confused.
so what's up, Kay? What's happening?
All confused.
Confused.
Let's
confusion was-
talk about confusion a little bit.
Oh,
And have you guys, let's wait for a few people to get here. I can't see what I can normally see.
yeah.
This platform is a little different. So I'm kind of getting,
It's just our camera comes through better through. Zoom
I
than
agree
here. So,
100%.
but it's just, right
But
now
it
you got
doesn't
three
show,
people.
right? It doesn't show me who's here.
Well, it does if you keep
Well,
the chat open. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
It's just, yeah, I understand what you mean, though. It is quite confusing.
It's so confusing.
I know. I'm not meaning
I
to
don't
be.
understand why you can't do things a little bit more simply.
And when I do, the quality is crap. I'd rather do something with quality than
Okay.
nothing at all,
I mean, I guess
Well, that happens.
we live very simply.
Yes. Hi, Suzanne.
Hi.
Susanna? Is it Susanna? Hi, Susanna.
Hello.
You said you wanted to wait for a few more people. Right now, you got about 6. Yep.
Yeah, guys, have you ever had, look, have you ever caught yourself watching something on television? And you can't say a word. You're watching it in such disbelief and such shock that and look,
Hi, James.
Lee and I have watched some really crazy things. We have watched the Dahmer series, right?
Yeah.
We've watched the Dahmer series, and you know what? That was pretty disturbing.
We watched David Koresh.
We watched the Koresh. That was disturbing. We watched the anyway, we watched the stuff,
Yeah.
right? We do. And yeah, we watched some disturbing things. What happened to us last night? We were flipping through some things, some platforms, and we ran across a documentary that not only actually instilled a little bit of fear in us, actually, fear, right? I mean, I felt fear. I felt fear.
I felt anger.
And anger, and
I
anger,
felt anger.
and such disbelief. I also saw a lot of familiarity. Like some of our stuff has been hijacked
And misused.
and misused, right? I know back in the day we found that somebody was using some of our root camp worksheets, right?
Yep.
Some of our signature programs have been hijacked,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
We watched this documentary, this twin flame documentary. We're not going to mention any names because I'm just not. I'm just not. The last place I want any of you guys to go is anywhere near that cult. And I'm afraid, right? Leah and I had never seen it. And
we were sick. Well, we were going through it, so we didn't have any idea that. I mean, we had speculation, but we never.
You know, some people had said a few things to us. I can remember people mentioning names, and we're going, no, we don't, you know, no, I don't know. We really kind of stay in our lane, and we don't.
We know our purpose.
We know our purpose, right? And we don't watch other people's stuff much, right? No. So anyway, yeah, we watched it, and I hope that you don't know what we're speaking of. I do. We saw familiar faces on the documentary, people that we have talked to long time ago, years ago. We seen familiar faces. My heart broke, right? I feel fear for the people who run into this cult. And I'm only labeling that. Hey, Gemma.
Should be here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm only labeling that because that's clearly what it is. And it was brought up in the documentary many times, but it's definitely what it is. And some of that stuff was very, very scary to watch, that people are getting this information, this misinformation. And look, I know that there are a lot of people out there. I know that there are a lot of people out there who are very vulnerable and are very confused, and they're very tired of this journey, right? The words, the phrases, the labels were all familiar, right? Like they touched on just about everything. And yeah.
I mean, we're going to tell you like this, okay? This connection should have never been twisted with the Bible at any point. And I think we both, if you come onto this channel, and I know you heard us say this a million times, when you see something that separates something, that's probably not the way to go. And what I mean by that is when we keep telling you masculine and feminine, you have to have both to be whole. You are made up of whole. If somebody's telling you you need another half of yourself, that's when you know you're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
You are whole, right? And there's no second coming of any bullshit because it's all in a book. There's been no proof.
We don't want to get into religion.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't want to get into religion.
I think I was so upset because
we were so upset. Like, I didn't know whether to cry or throw something.
Oh, throw up.
And or yeah, I was sick to my stomach. Look, I gotta say this. Yeah. Nobody, I promise you, nobody ever can tell you who you're connected to. And
only you.
And right, only you. Nobody can put you together with somebody and say, you're twins, deal with it. And if you don't like it, change. There's a problem with that, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a huge problem with that. And
there's no guide to the ultimate lover. There's none of that. You're already falling into the trap the moment you believe somebody can guide you to that. They can't. If they can't guide you into something deep inside of yourself without criticizing you, attacking you, and bullying you, something's wrong. Right. Your pain is special. It shapes your ideas and your beliefs in connection, but you can change the shape. You deserve connection. Nobody can tell you otherwise, and nobody can tell you who or how or what that should look like.
I wish we could drop that twin flame label.
You know what? I think the problem is that the twin flame label's already been destroyed. Because when we watched it, I went, yeah, this had nothing to do with what? I mean, I looked at it and went, wait, but we chose this connection. The connection chose us. That's the part you got to really pay attention to. And then you look and go, okay, she almost died. There's something to this connection that isn't about being the ultimate lover. There's so much more. It's shadowed bullshit is what it was. And I was like, man, you know what? We're on path.
It was very
We're
dark.
back. We're sorry we got sick. We're sorry that happened. If you have found your way to escape, great. But know this, the connection isn't all that. I promise you it's not. It's more than that. That was a business. This is a connection, and it has to do with your feelings. It doesn't have to do with if somebody is willing to immerse themselves into your pain to show you what you see connection as, that's beautiful. But if they're telling you who it goes to, that's bullshit. Don't believe that. Don't bite that apple, because I promise you it's poison.
I don't want to spend too much time on it because I'm feeling, you know what I mean, that energy I was feeling last night when I was watching it. And we watched it from beginning to end, and it was with 3 episodes.
3 episodes of hell.
3 episodes.
3 episodes of
3 episodes of
I never said that. I would never do that. And then there was video proof. And I went, you know what?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on out here? What has happened to this connection?
Which is exactly why it's perfect time for us to watch our journey.
Absolutely.
It's perfect time for us to go back.
We were copied, but they took what they thought was copying and turned it into something evil. They didn't turn it into something that's enlightening. They didn't we're not gurus. We're not leaders. All we want you to do is come into our connection and you see it for yourself. That's the most important thing. We don't want to lead or be these. We're not gurus. We're students of connection. You're students of connection. And if we all kind of come together and talk about our experiences as students of connection, you'll probably notice that you get a lot more from it. And it doesn't have to be, you have to believe what we believe. You just have to believe in connection and that your feelings really do matter.
Yeah. They
should not be questioned. They should not be judged. There's a lot of trauma that comes from that, but I can see why people can get attracted to that.
Yeah.
By family dynamic in the way that you're connected from it. But you just don't say some of the stuff I heard.
No, you don't. To anybody.
No.
For any reason.
Anyway, that was our tangent. We're not going to.
For any reason.
Yeah.
For any reason. Nobody should ever be disrespectful to you, speak to you, and
especially about this connection.
And look, you'll see me get pretty heated on some of my videos, right? Here's the deal, like with me specifically, right? Lee and I, you'll hear this in a lot of our videos because we want to make sure that everybody knows. Lee and I coach completely differently one-on-one. Excuse me. When we coach together, we sort of mesh, and my way of coaching and his way of coaching are, although very different, when we're coaching together, it just kind of, it complements, right? My coaching is very brutal. Sometimes it's very empathetic. And however, there are situations, and here's the truth, the real truth. And I hope that some of these people see this video because it's super important. I've got, and I'm going to say this, it's primarily women, right? For some reason, and I don't know what that reason is, but it's primarily women who come to me because they see my videos, they see how passionate I am about the triangle, the relationship between you and your married twin, right? And you being a mistress, a side chick, whatever, waiting for 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, 27 years, 15 years, whatever, right? For that person to change their situation and come to you and you guys live in union, because that's constantly promised to you. I'm passionate about that subject, very passionate about it. And I know how to get you out of it. I know how to do it. And there's multiple ways, right? But there is a time in a lot of people's lives when it's just time to let go and walk away. What I'm finding is I'm getting these primarily women coming to me tired of the cycle, tired of it. Tired of 15 years, tired of 4 years, tired of 4 months, tired of I've been doing this for 20 years, 15 to 20 years, tired of it. But when we get down to the nitty gritty of you've got to let it go, you've got to let it go, because you're not going to find happiness if you're connected or not connected. You're not going to find happiness if you're still holding on to somebody else, a human being, right? I'm very, very, very passionate about it. And then what happens is they find out they're not ready to end the cycle. And that's the truth. Because if they were ready to end the cycle, they would end the cycle. What happens is they just ghost. They just disappear on me, right? They just disappear because they don't like what I'm saying to them, because it's the truth. They don't want to let go.
Actually,
they don't want to end the cycle.
There's two sides to how they could see that.
Right.
Do you see what the other side is?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you give them
No,
that?
go ahead. Well, no, go ahead, because I'm
the other side of that is you already had a feminine energy direct you away from a masculine energy your whole life anyway, and you don't see the connection point. The connection point always points at a wounded feminine to a masculine that came from a wounded feminine. So you're trapped in the triangle, not realizing you're repeating the trauma. I can go deeper than that, and that's the issue. The issue is that somebody's taking that because they think because we put that there, that that's the end point.
Right.
No, there is so much more on the other side of that. And the yin and the yang of that is what we want to bring you into, because there's a way to heal it without getting caught up in that.
They think that it's the end all be all. Once they let go and move on with their lives, they think that that's it. It's the end all be all, end of the world.
It's the start.
And it's the beginning.
It's the beginning.
It's actually the beginning.
It's the beginning point.
But it's
because
so
you didn't
hard.
you didn't learn how to let somebody connect you. You didn't learn how to let somebody
so
love
hard to climb that wall, and because they're knocking on it with their heads, going, I want to stop. I want to stop. I want to stop. I want to stop. I'm worth more than this. I'm worth more than this. I deserve better than this. I deserve better than this.
And you had those conversations like in Journey, in our first episode of our Journey.
Yes.
When we're talking, you're going to see just that.
Right.
We're going to stop and go, hey, so let us tell you where we both were coming from, because we couldn't really break that down for you.
Right.
So you can understand why we guide the way we guide, and why we point at certain spaces on the inside of your feelings and say, how did you connect to this inside? Because that is what this connection is here to do. It's here to birth you into connection, not tear you apart, not make you change your whole lifestyle because somebody told you to. It's because there's something inside of you, this feeling that you're carrying that you don't see, that you never learned how to hold those feelings. You never learned how to let somebody hold you in those feelings. And we know it's painful. Oh yeah, it's painful. But when they use your pain against you, then they tell you this is the mirror effect. That's bullshit. That's not the mirror effect. They have taken it and twisted it. Here's what the mirror effect would look like. And I'll use myself as an example. The way that I treated my mother was probably horrible, and I knew how to disconnect from her very easily. And I got hurt quite a few times doing it. But I started doing that to her, not realizing I never felt how that made her feel. The mirror effect is this. Sherry will now do what I did to my mom to me. So I can now feel what I did to her. See the connection point there? It's not about, oh, you need to ask these questions to yourself and make yourself feel bad. No, you need to see what the mirror is showing you in connection, so you can understand what the mirror is doing in connection. You got to experience both sides. So this pain that you're in is two-sided. It's never one-sided pain. It's just not. And this connection wants to birth you through that. That's how beautiful this connection is. And it's twisted up somehow. And let's put this in the universe and then run it as a business universe is bullshit. Oh, I'm sorry. They've taken it and they do not see what they're doing to the pain. They're spreading it throughout the universe and reduplicating some kind of divide that isn't divine. It's divide. If they want you to be feminine, divide, not divine. Divide. Pay attention to the word and the way they're throwing it around. It's about divide. If they keep you divided, it's a business. They can make some money. Mm-hmm. We don't want you divided. We want you connected. A connected world means a change in this world, not a disconnected one. We've already lived that. And we repeat it and we hand it down to our children. They hand it down to their children. And this connection found you for a reason, a greater reason. And you are that important. And we're not burying the connection. We're here to birth the connection, period. And I think we should stop with this because I'm getting more and more heated the more I think about it.
I mean,
I'm trying not to be.
Right. It just, guys, it was so heart-wrenching. Like,
it really was.
I really would rather have watched.
So bad for this.
I would really have rather watched Old Yeller. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Because I have, you know what I mean?
I think it was meant for us to see it now.
I agree. Maybe it was just time for us to see it.
We had to go through everything to understand what connection is really here for versus what has been put out there. And I don't know. To me, it's not about how many people see us. To me, it's about how many people connect to that space that they feel inside and can relate to what we're saying. Because you have the answers to this connection. Nobody outside of you has it. Not a tarot reader, not a numerology, none of it. None of that points to what's deep inside of what you really feel and how indestructible and how beautiful it really is.
And look, Lee and I have our people that we trust. If we have a tarot question or if we're curious about something, we'll go to Allie's tarot, because we know Allie and we know that she's spirit driven. Right. Mm-hmm. We know her, you know, if
we all know each other's pain.
If we have astrology issues or questions or whatever, I'll go right over to K Moon's channel, you know, or message her and get answers. But because we know Kay and we know that she's spirit driven, right? We know that she's on point and she knows her shit. And so does Allie, right? Look, if I have a music question, we have band people we go to, right? I mean, we have people. It's not like we don't participate in some of those things. It's not like that.
No. But it has to connect.
But there has to be a connection. Right. There has to be a connection point there. And I'm very taken back by the implied second coming of Christ. I can't even fathom the ego in that.
The concept of that. And even tried to bring that into something that's spiritual. You abstract religion into it. And
there's no religious spirituality. No.
There's this connection isn't about any of that.
Any of it.
It's about connection. Connection. It is not about your disconnect. It is not about what a person is making their choices. It's not, they shouldn't be smacking you down.
Right.
They shouldn't be. Yeah. But you don't crush somebody like that and then tell them they're stupid.
Yeah.
Or they're an idiot.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's move on before we end up.
No, that's not what this connection is here for.
Yeah. But let me tell you how excited we are.
Oh, about doing our thing. You know what? We haven't read any of these.
Let's read these. We're excited, guys.
Wonderfully supported. All is well, though. The light is shining more lately.
Yes.
It is on the upswing. Yes.
Yay.
Colorful Foresight. Hey, colorful. They are doing their best to make the sacredness to not make them sacred.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
To true love. I agree. Magic. God, we ain't seen you in a minute.
Right.
I want to know, does he ever become conscious and hold himself accountable for the betrayal? Well, It depends, Magic. It depends on where he learned how to.
She said she's proved he's my twin.
I've proved he's my twin.
Birth charts, human design, numerology showed him plenty. Honestly, I'm over it. It's painful for real. And when he cuts his hair, it triggers me to cut mine. Remember how you spoke about tasting peanut butter? He was eating peanut butter. Okay, that type of shit happens all the time randomly. She tastes shit. I don't even eat, and I agree it's self-love and alignment with soul. I dropped the awakening label. Oh,
I dropped the label.
The label. It's spiritual awakening.
Beautiful.
That is beautiful. Yeah. So
hey guys, I'm moving back to Cincinnati.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
We're in Mason.
No, I don't. Yeah, we're in Mason.
We're in Mason. What part of the city are you moving to?
Hello, Charlotte.
So don't say the West Side. Don't say Delhi or Western Hills, or don't say West Side. I used to live on the West Side, but don't say West Side.
It's really also challenging, but it's going to all have a bigger purpose and even more valuable.
Yeah.
My twin rules the bottom chakras, I rule the top. Make sure that you balance both.
Yeah,
of those.
balance both. of those.
Don't make one above or below the other. You want to make it side to side. You're allowed to do that, but see, don't go off of rules, because this connection has none.
Right.
KD asked a good question. Can narcissism be a heavy karmic pattern in the twin flame connection? No. See, we got to stop putting human inside of a connection, because that's the point. That it would be like this. If I said, do these two liquid forms, can they come together and be together? There's a simple answer of yes. Do you think it's looking for whether there's narcissism, or do you think if there's drama? Do you think that feeling of connection actually knows what any of that is? So what we're trying to do is make that more of the center of what this connection is about. This connection is about your feelings, has nothing to do with your thoughts, has nothing to do with anything you want to have or have not happen. It has to do with a feeling, a deep-rooted feeling on the inside of you that is seeking connection. Do you know how to have that? The answer is going to be no, because it's been buried. So what Sherry and I have gone through put us all the way in where it's buried. And all we can do is give you the crumbs to watch you follow it. We can't tell you what choices you'll make. We can't tell you what choices the other person makes. But one thing we know for sure, every time we chose our pain, we ended up together. So take that for what it's worth. This is about a feeling in you, not what your thoughts are doing to the connection. That's the furthest point away from it. And that's big business for some people, apparently. So what we want to do is completely opposite of that. We want to get you back in your feelings, because the connection came because you had a feeling inside. The connection didn't come because you started thinking. If you're thought and you're thinking and you want this connection, you think you want this connection, I promise you, your feelings are going to give you something else. And you need to be in your feelings to have connection. Just no other point. And if somebody keeps bringing you back to your feelings and wanting you to sit in those feelings, it's because they want you to feel and experience connection. I can do that in less than 5 minutes with somebody. I don't mean to, but I can. There's a purpose for that. There's a purpose for every part of this. What do you think about narcissism being, what did you think of that statement?
No, I don't know. Absolutely not. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, no way.
Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe.
Hi,
don't forget
Charlotte.
to turn on those notifications.
Charlotte.
Hey, Charlotte. Yeah, you're talking to Charlotte tomorrow. I think. We'll see.
Tomorrow. Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It really is going to be. Let's see, my twin was. Yeah, make sure you share that. Totally agree. Yep. Hit that like button, people.
Yes,
thank you, Magic. What are a few steps to end the cycle? Said KD.
You
don't look at narcissism as a cycle. You look at it as a wound.
Yeah.
You look at what they're doing as a wound. You look at what they're doing.
We're so quick to label people narcissists too. We're so quick to label somebody who's just really drowning in their pain a narcissist.
That was the thing. When you saw me as a player, you kept going, something's hurting him. There's no way.
I never saw you as a narcissist.
Did you ever see me as a cheater? You saw me as a cheater.
Oh, yeah.
So there was labeling, but but was it doing anything for the feeling that you were carrying?
No, it did everything for the thoughts I was carrying.
And the thoughts were attacking your feelings?
Feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's disconnection 101.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
It's painful because I have to let my twin go.
You know what? And here's the thing.
I got to learn to receive.
If you really, really, really want to break that cycle, Aza, when you get back to Cincinnati, you hook up with me.
She knows how to break cycles.
I'll break that cycle.
But she's got to get to the root of the cycle first. She's got to get to the root.
To be really ready. If there's even an inkling in you that you think you can't do this, then it's not time. Because at that point in time, I can coach somebody for 5 or 6 months. But once it gets down to that, I don't want to be here anymore. He just called me yesterday and we slept together. You know, if you're still hanging on to anything, then it's not going to work, because you've got to switch that focus from that person to yourself. And if you don't do that, you're never, ever going to be able to find true happiness.
And that happens because of a wound you carry that says you're getting more after receiving less your whole life.
Yes.
That's sometimes what's lodged you into this space. And if you felt something by what I just said, which is you felt that this is more, but it's because you've lived a life of less. In other words, this always is going to point back to something deep in you that you've always craved. And that's why you're willing to put yourself in this position. Nobody should judge you for that. There's a reason you choose that. It's a control thing. It's a painful thing. It's not, you didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
You're not, you don't see it that way, because
right.
we all have no mind when it comes to connection. We just don't know how to act. We don't know what's the connection wants from us. So we think that this is a purely sexual connection because that's easier. It's easier because you can kind of learn your way around your feelings in that through sex. But there's more. There's so much more. There's so much more. And people are still stuck in that little space. And it's like, well, what about the rest of it? And they're like, the rest of it? No, I just want the ultimate lover. No, you don't. You it's not about that. It's about connection. Somebody being connected to your feelings and you not being alone in those feelings anymore. And do you know how deep that goes in you?
Is there a blow-up doll out there called the Ultimate Lover?
Yeah.
I think there are. No, I think
for men there is.
I think I saw that.
Is that the girlfriend
in a sex shop a while back? The Ultimate Lover, but it was not a blow-up doll. It was something else.
It was a little.
The Ultimate Lover.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
And it came in different sizes.
The Ultimate Lover was one that.
Where are we just
I'm just saying.
I know. Okay.
I don't know.
Let's walk away from
the Ultimate Lover.
Yeah. Dark forces, light forces. Let us tell you how we are
girl,
in the connection. So that way you can understand why this video, I hope, is the most important video you'll ever see. But here it is. You need light and dark. You need high, you need low. You need whatever thing that puts that in that space. You need both, because you're whole. You don't want to try to escape one, telling yourself that you're half of this life until you have another person. There's no truth to that at all. What we're saying is, if I'm willing to be with her because she's married, I'm willing to be half. But I'm ready to be whole. We'll be like, okay, you can come back into my energy field, but this is going to be the whole part. And you're going to have all of me.
Right.
And I don't want you to have crumbs of me. I want you to have the whole me.
For sure.
And I want the whole you.
For sure.
Because we're whole. Not because we want to live the rest of our lives telling ourselves we're half of something. You need high, you need low, you need light, you need dark. Because everything grows in that cycle. Pay attention. The sun goes up, the sun goes down, high and low, right? And then we have the inside and the outside. Things that you're experiencing in the dark are also going to show up in the light. And everything that's in the dark here shows up in the light in here. It's this.
I hated that when I
cosmic-
was always out there doing bad.
You know, I
When I was always out there just doing bad things.
I've lost my judgment.
Yeah.
I've lost my judgment.
Yeah.
Because it never got me love.
Never. Ever.
And it still doesn't. Even
Right.
we still get infected with judgment. Be with somebody who's going to tell you. We still get infected.
Yeah.
We still get trapped in our heads. We still, have really passion energy between us. And it shows up in all kinds of different ways. There's whole in everything that you have in yourself. And then you can be connected to someone who's whole and can be connected to that.
For sure.
This isn't about, well, are they going to run away? Are they going to chase? That's all head stuff still. That's all still head stuff.
For sure.
And we're going to make sure we heal that and stomp the crap out of that. And that never comes back again because there's so much more that you're not even knowing exists because you're too busy focused in the small space where it's a good business. Your pain shouldn't be a business. Your pain should be where you heal. Hence why we've made this our life purpose. We're going to stay in this pain because we can see the shape of other people's pain when we do it, including what we experience in our connection. And our connection brought us to our pain because there was love in it. Not because it was a very painful experience. It's because deep inside of that pain and all of that crap was love. But
for sure.
How much love? Infinite. Just pain, just as pain is infinite, so is your love. You just have to realize that they kind of exist together.
Oh, there's all kinds of things over here that looks like.
I think we go. I'm so glad you guys are here and speaking up. This profiting of separation needs to stop. Yes, it does. Well, I remember I was going through hell when I used to watch your guys' video back in April. I went through a very long period of the dark night of the soul. Now I appreciate my growth. That's what we're talking about.
That's awesome.
Sherry, Amber Rose, so happy to see you both. Thank you, Amber. Michelle, this is my second separation from my twin. The first one was very painful and confusing.
Not Michelle.
Oh, Melissa, I'm sorry. This one is liberating because I know the issues that have to be addressed that can be addressed together. Wow. Actually, that's a myth too.
Hello, Canada.
Vancouver,
Hello, Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Living up there. Oh, speaking of Canada, look, let me show you guys this picture. I don't know who knows Brooke and Danny, but if you do, you're going to find this funny. So I was in a store yesterday, and doesn't that look like Brooke?
Oh my God, it does. Yeah,
I was looking at no, I was looking at this I don't know.
Is it ad for Canada?
Yeah. So and I came across this and I was like, oh my gosh, it looks like Brooke. And you said you're from Canada, so it just reminded me of it. So look at this. Doesn't that look like Brooke? I wish Brooke was here so she could see this, but I'll send it her way. But I mean, Brooke's belly is way bigger than that right now because she's got a baby in it, but a baby girl.
Yeah,
we're excited about that. We're excited about that baby girl.
Congratulations, Brooke and Dan.
I'm about to send her some stuff.
My twin flame won't leave his wife, and now that's confirmed. Like I am heartbroken. This has been over 10 years of this journey roller coaster. After 10 years, okay, so my question would be, look, how did you love yourself through that broken heart? That is the question.
Been 10 years.
That's the space.
Yes. Say it's been 10 years.
She said this has been over 10 years on this journey.
You need to get with me.
Yeah, come talk to us. 30 minutes, dude. 30 minutes.
You get with me and I will get you out of that cycle. Now you may not like what I have to say, but I promise you I'm going to tell you the truth.
And what you don't like about what she says, I'll connect you to where that pain is and why it's impacting.
Why it's hurting you so
you got to break the cycle by seeing both sides.
Yes. Agreed.
Hi, loves. How good to see you.
Hey.
Just talk with Sherry, y'all. Y'all need to get to that ready to surrender part of taking care of yourself. Hello, Rosie.
Hi, Rosie.
You're getting more by receiving less. That is true.
Yes.
Yep. We've seen that so much. And that's kind of what everybody thinks this connection is now.
Right.
This connection is about you have to go and you have to. Now we understand where that was coming from. We had no clue why people say, why do I have to be the one? And I'm like, why is it so there's anger coming from people when they say that. And I'm going, well, how have you been connected to yourself? Because that's the question. The question isn't about why do you have to do this? The question is about, shouldn't you be connected to yourself to have a beautiful connection? I mean, isn't that kind of an important thing for you? Do you think beautiful means you get rid of the bad? Do you think beautiful means that you get rid of the pain? Beautiful is all of it, right? I mean, you keep, like I said, that you keep getting less when you think you're getting more. And you are more. You are always more. You're always whole. You have to see what split you, why the feminine or masculine on the inside of you is split. You have to see it to see what it's doing in this connection. And I promise you, 9 times out of 10, without fail, we have always seen that your connection to a person who is married is because you lost a connection to one who left and got married. And it always points back to the crumbs that you got are the crumbs you're still getting. And you don't even know how to deal with that feeling. That's where we come in. We know how to sit in that feeling with you and really talk you through why these choices are being made. Yeah, it does sound tough. But have you ever known anything easy to get you loved? This is going to be hard. We never said it was easy, but we want you to at least be able to feel your truth, not somebody else's.
Right. I had to pull my pants up. They were falling down.
My twin is chasing me, Danny baby. My twin is chasing me, but I don't feel like I'm not ready for him to come back.
Then if that's what you're feeling, then it is not time for him to be coming back. Spirit is just telling you that it is time, or you got to find what it is that's holding you back.
Yeah, you gotta ask yourself, if he's chasing you, you're saying you're the runner, but you got to ask yourself, what are you running from?
Right.
If you comes down to it, and if you were standing still and Sherry sat with you and said, hey, why are you running? Would you be able to answer it? Is there a feeling on the inside of you that's blocking it? If you don't go that path, you're going to keep this same cycle up. It's like the 10-year marriage thing.
Yeah.
Why are you accepting this after 10 years?
After 2 years, after 1 year.
In some cases, you've become comfortable with him not choosing you because there's something on the inside of you that you learned to do that through. In most cases, it's the parent that you stayed with versus the parent that left you. And you learned how to live with that one parent and only get very little from that other parent. So when you got it, you probably got gifts and toys and treated and you're spoiled. And that's what the sex is feeling like to you in this connection. And there's more to you than that.
And you're going to get that side.
It's all connected.
And you're going to get this side, right? You're going to get this side. So why are you disrespecting yourself? Why are you right? Why are you treating yourself like you're not enough?
Right.
Why are you putting yourself through, I'm not enough, I'm not chosen? Because why are we staying in a situation where somebody's choosing something else, no matter what it is, no matter if it's a someone else, or no matter if it's fear, no matter if it's whatever it is, that's finances, whatever, no matter what it is, it's a bullshit excuse. Because if you're connected,
Yes, ma'am.
and that energy that we felt when we went to lunch that day and went back to the house that you had moved out of, right, is undeniable, right? But what is it that's being chosen over you, and why are you allowing that in yourself? So we're going to hit you
in that space and go
with both.
If
with
you
both
get to make
sides.
a different choice here,
right?
Sarah said duality is experience, but unity is always truth. The pain is always the truth. The pain is always the truth. The pain is the truth. The truth is the pain. If you don't go into the pain, you never speak from that pain. You're never going to learn to let people connect to you in the first place. Pain that we're saying we need to get rid of, and it's an old paradigm, and that it's a lost cause, and you need to get rid of that pain to have this connection. Wrong.
Yeah.
Your knowing, your knowledge, your intuition, everything resides in that feeling of what we're calling pain. Your soul is connected through that pain as a threshold between this connection and the connection you came from and the connection you're going to go back to, and the same back and forth. It's like we're looking for a way to be in our head about something that our pain is actually telling you the truth about.
Right.
Your connection resides, and your ability to let somebody love you will reside in your pain. There's no other way to explain it other than to say we are connected because of our pain. Anybody out there giving you twin flame bullshit information that tells you that you can have this connection without your pain is full of shit. They don't know what they're talking about. They have not experienced the healing that comes from pain, because that is the module you need to heal.
Oh, that is so
you know what I mean? It's like, what? Think about it. Think about this. Imagine two people who weren't afraid to show their pain, how powerful that would be, what it enables between them. So it lasts years, centuries. It's almost as though two energies came together, thrown together, however you want to look at it. And now it doesn't come apart because the pain connected them. You have to look at what we're saying. It does not make a difference. Your physical gender, you are made up of both. You're whole. That whole in pain connects to another whole in pain. Do not mistake this. It's the truth. We're telling you, there's no reason for us to lie, because this connection put us through all this crap to lie to you. No, the pain is the important part of the connection. And we get it. We get it. The mind and what other people tell you, we get it. We do get it. But there's so much more.
God, we get it so much more now.
There's so much more.
Maybe it was meant for us to watch that. Maybe
we needed to get through what we got through to come to, because
maybe
this isn't about, oh God, we give away as much as we receive. And we really have kept to that. We have always kept to that. You find free everything when it comes to us. We have our time set aside to have that, because the connection is taking care of us without us even looking for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just the connection.
And we don't need financial glory, but we need to support our family.
Oh, yeah, we just need to.
We don't need what we got, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's almost like we just want you guys to have this connection.
Yeah, that's all.
Gosh, is that a bad thing?
I just want everyone out there to be able to wake up with someone they're connected to,
and the feeling
is there, and you go about your day, and one of you can go to your job, the other can go to their job, and you're so connected that you don't even feel like you're apart, and you can come back in the middle of the day and then spend your evenings together, wait for him to get out of the shower. I was just telling this person the other day, it's a real vulnerable place for me, but I'm gonna do it, right? And because I don't like for Lee to know how sweet I really am. I got that mask on. But I'm grateful. Like, I'm super grateful for this connection. I'm grateful for him. I'm so grateful that when I'm wiping his whiskers out of his sink, I feel blessed to be able to do that. Like, it makes me happy that I can wipe his whiskers out of his sink. It's a blessing.
I think it's happy when we go to the doctor and the doctor's like, does she take this? Or he's asking you, what do you take? And I'm the one who has to answer.
Right.
And then, he's like, well, and I'm like, well, she takes this much and then she'll take that. But she stopped taking this because it did this.
Right.
And I mean, and then he's going,
yeah.
The doctors look at us like, okay, you two
right.
They love it, and they schedule
they schedule us together. Our primary schedules
because
together.
they know coming in They've got to talk to us both.
Yeah.
You can't just have one or
We
the other.
both go in the same room
Can you
together.
imagine going to the doctor
Yes.
and the doctor looking at the person
It's
who's
the
not you
greatest.
and says, so tell me what's been going on. And it's like,
Right. It's the
and then he goes,
greatest.
okay, so the doctor's like, well, I'll change this in the medicine and change that. And
Yeah, our doctor
That's-
moved practices and we followed him because he sees us together,
and he
like literally
watches our
at the
channel.
same time.
And he watched their chat, but he also, when he got sick.
He
really
got
sick
super
later.
sick.
And first thing he did when he woke up said, Sherry, we
He's-
need to make sure Sherry's, you know,
Sherry got her medicine.
Sherry got her diabetes.
Somebody get
We
Sherry
need to get her under
medicine.
control. Yeah. And they were like, who? And nobody's, but there's connection.
Yes.
Is
He doesn't know us personally.
no, but
right?
he feels,
Yeah.
and even every time we go to that office, everybody's glued. See, there's so much to this connection.
And now it's all of them.
Yeah.
The new office is great.
I wish that
The nurse was
I
like,
wish
he told
this-
me that you guys
I
go
wish that
together.
person who wanted to deep dive into what this is
Mhm.
found us,
Yeah.
because the experience of being around us, for those of you that have ever spent time with Lee and Sherry, you can post, you can tell
Yeah.
there's this energy
Yeah,
there.
please do.
And it really talks to this feeling in you, not this head game. Because your mind is trying to tell you when you get together with your twin, it's going to be this. I'm sorry, that's all crazy stuff. That none of that's real. This feeling is real. It's so real.
It's so real. And I want everybody out there to be able to do this. I want you to be able to vacuum up the one you're connected to's hair. I want you to enjoy those moments. I
Yeah.
want you to, we get up every morning and Lee makes the bed. He just makes the bed. It's
a habit.
it's a thing.
It's like a flow. I want
it's
her,
what
and then I'll
he
go over and prop up
does.
his pillows. I want to make sure her pillows are all so when
Right.
she lays down. I mean, there's so much.
I
And
want
you check my water bottles, make sure that I have
Yeah,
way
you
too
have a
many
water
there. You'll go
problem.
over and start. I see how you make them
You have
disappear.
a
now.
water problem.
I don't have a water problem. Water is connection.
I want everybody to be able to do this. And we have the key to that. We can't
Have it.
guarantee that you're going to be in whatever that's called that they were calling it. We can't guarantee that you're going to come together with anybody, but I can guarantee that you're not going to come together with anybody else you're connected to, as long as your mind is obsessed with somebody else. And that's exactly what it is. It's a mind obsession.
And nobody should tell you, go run towards your obsession. Go get it out of your system. No, there's a reason behind
Yes.
why you will choose. Let's put it this way. You have had connection in your life before.
Mhm.
And then when connection returns, would you respond the same or have the same energy towards it? Or would you try to find a way away from it? Those are all significant
Mhm.
wounds. Those are all significant habits.
Yeah.
They originated before this connection found you.
Yeah.
But when this connection comes along, it pulls it out of you.
Yes.
And
it
there's a
does.
reason why it does that. It's doing that because you carry a core feeling inside
Mhm.
that wasn't there when the connection found you the first time.
Yeah.
So it's like they didn't damage what the connection is doing to you now. That was done prior.
Mhm.
So it is important to know your pathology. Your pathology and this connection is being illuminated because of the connection. Where did that come from? But that felt right.
Yeah.
I said that. That was correct.
I believe so.
thought your pathology. Right.
Your-
Okay.
I think.
Yes. No, your pathology was there before this connection that's illuminating it. Yes, it is.
Okay.
And that gives you the opportunity to see why these choices are so deep and so painful.
Yeah.
Because you never were given those choices before and you learned a way to live without it. So most people are looking for a way they can live without this connection when somebody's telling them, no, you'll never be happy without this connection. That's bullshit. Your happiness doesn't come from the connection outside of you. The connection comes from inside of you to create your happiness. That's the key. Because somebody else won't be there, they don't feel that happiness for you. They don't. They never will. I'm sorry. That's just not connection. Connection doesn't give a shit whether you're happy or not. It just is connected.
Yeah. I'm trying to read.
Love from Barbados, Danny. That's wonderful. Susanna, isn't pain part of the old paradigm? I hope you heard what we were saying about pain. You need your pain for this connection. You really, really do. If you don't get that, set up 30 minutes. Sherry is open. I'm open. You can do that. There should be a link on our about page, or if you go to our website, it is there as well. Beverly Spencer, hey girl. Sherry, I want a session. Beverly said, all right, cool. Email relationshipreinvent@gmail.com. You guys, look, like and share this. We've got to get people to change this space because this space needs connection. We don't want to be lost over what the connection isn't. That's not anything that's over there isn't what this connection is. If they're not pointing to what something you feel inside that you've always had inside and made that important, that's why we have to make sure that we just stop trying to tell ourselves what this connection is. Stop telling people that you're twin flame. Start telling them how you feel about them.
Yeah.
That's the myth. That's what's causing.
Let's try to get rid of the word twin flame.
Well, let's just try to get you into your feelings so your feelings can speak. Your feelings have words too. Your feelings have a way to communicate too. Your feelings are important. Your feelings matter.
Yeah.
How you feel about this person matters. How you feel about yourself could be why it's stalling, or could be why it's not there because of some things you've been through. Those things that you've gone through need connection. They need it. I needed it. She needed it. We're sitting here and it changed a lot of things in our lives. It really has.
It really has.
Let's see. Hot said book a session with Sherry. Sherry, I talked to him this morning and told him not to text me till he chooses me. I was strong at the moment, but I am crying now. However, I am at peace.
Okay, Rosie, I know we're going to talk soon. And I really want you to look at this as if you were perhaps a drug addict or an alcoholic. And I really want you to focus on not picking up that drink at this point, right? And I want you to also realize that in this moment, this is what's happening. This is what's happening, right? And in this moment, picking up that drink would be detrimental to you and your health, your emotional and your well-being. And I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud that you're stepping out and breaking this cycle. I promise you this isn't the end. I promise you this is the beginning of something absolutely amazing. I can promise you that. Just be cautious and don't pick up that drink. What at whatever cost, don't pick up that drink.
Pay attention to your feelings, right?
Deserve your sobriety. You deserve it. And I'm proud of you. And we'll talk soon. We'll talk soon. Stay strong. And email me, Rosie. Email me if you're struggling a lot. Email me. I'll watch. I'll watch out. I promise.
Amber Rose, I can feel my twin right now. Haven't felt him recently. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Amber.
that's awesome.
How do you stay in your feelings with or without this connection? Tanya, I stopped reaching out after 7 years of hell, and I love the connection with myself now. I'm connected to me. But I guess my question, Tanya, is could you have loved yourself the way you do now? Would you have done that if this person hadn't shown up in your life? And do you know now how to have that love for yourself and have somebody love you at the same time? Because that's where the healing really needs to take place. And it's the hardest place to do it. We think that once we found self-love, we think that that's an isolation chamber. That's what we keep seeing it turns into. Whereas if you really loved yourself, wouldn't you be attracting love in every direction? If you loved your connection to yourself, would you attract a loving connection? Right. It's almost like we're not telling each other the truth about the rules, about what the law of attraction really brings to you. So if you say, I love myself now, but I'm by myself, well, you put that in the universe, and by myself is where you are. How's that love? So what we want to do is make sure we rechange the way we experience connection, because that's what this connection is here to change. It's just here to make you remember connection that was always here, that we always had the ability to have. Like I said, it's almost like if you found something that actually made your feelings matter, that's what this connection is going to do to you in the worst way.
Mm-hmm.
So would you have let somebody love you through these feelings before, Tanya? It's probably a good question. Danny, baby, thank you. That helped. Grateful. I'm so glad you talked about the documentary. I only watched the first episode and was like, oh, I'm just at the beginning of the chat. Right. Yeah, we watched it. And I think what bothered us the most is we'd seen that it's been flooded, but we didn't understand where it was coming from.
Yeah.
And it made so much sense after watching it. I went, they're dividing people, then telling people who they are, and then telling people who they're connected to,
and then telling
it's
making
so,
them change.
It's not only so abusive,
making them
it's
change.
just it wasn't anything that this connection didn't know anything about that stuff. Where they're speaking from doesn't even begin to tell you what this connection has done for us. It's like they found a way to make it into something you can buy at Walmart, or you can buy, if you want to go and shop for a car. They turned it into an automobile that really drives you away from the connection, not towards it.
I think
it's like, what the hell?
I was taken aback by noticing that our spirit-led things, right? Our spirit-led, some of our programs, some of our paperwork, or some of our worksheets and things, right? Some of the names of the program has been hijacked. Like
you can see by the dates, because we were doing the stuff way back in 2013.
Right. And boot camp. Spiritual boot camp was hijacked.
Yeah.
And then we renamed it root camp. And
but we did root camp from 2014. All of these things were already in place.
They were already in place. They've taken it and twisted even our work.
But is this what Mel kept trying to warn us about?
Maybe. I don't know. Mel was trying to warn us about something.
Mel was saying this is what's going on here, but I never knew what he was talking.
I didn't either.
He's pretty angry about that.
Yeah, I remember.
But now I get it. I get it now. I guess maybe it wasn't, we weren't supposed to be involved in that
at all.
We had to go through connection.
Right.
We have to continue to, we went through connection.
That was going on during the time that I was physically dying.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, it's been going on since 2015.
Right. Right.
But we really never got that far into it. But we get, not being certified by anyone. We get that.
Mm-hmm.
But experience has a way of granting knowledge and granting wisdom and granting connection in ways that we found a way to honor.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize how important it was to just believe.
For sure. And yourself.
Believe in the connection.
Yeah.
The connection doesn't need your disbelief. Your connection needs your belief.
Right.
And if your belief is all over the place, don't worry. It will wash it through.
Yeah.
It will.
The connection needs your self-worth. Your connection needs that. It needs you to love yourself, the connection, because if you can't do that, you certainly can't share that love with somebody else, because you don't have it. Right. So man, the connection, it's something else, but it's not that. It's not that.
Right.
It is not that.
Sarah, unity as in both sides of anything exists at the same time. Pain plus love, light plus dark, etc., etc. But yes, absolutely. Thank you, sir. That is absolutely our truth. That's what the connection has shown us. How this is a true testament of how when you know it works, that you feel such joy and connection, you just want to share it. Mm-hmm. We want to share it because we know how painful it is.
Right.
We know that it's through the pain that you get to have this connection, not away from it, not by getting rid of it, not by trying to change it, but by truly respecting your pain. So you learn to respect another person's pain. And then you learn how to connect those pains.
For sure.
That's what this connection is about. It's not about the fairy tale bullcrap. It's not about that. This is not about having an ultimate lover. I mean, there are some quirks and there's some really beautiful things about this connection, but the connection just wants you whole.
Oh, you're right.
It just wants you whole, and you are whole. You just in your head about some things, and you need some way to walk away from that, or see how to walk away from that.
Right.
That's what this channel was created for. And unfortunately, people who want to take that and then make some kind of thing out of it, and then they put the beans out there, and the beans were bad. None of those beans actually. We plant seeds, roots on this channel, because those roots will grow, knowing that they're growing in you. Not you ain't got to go to a field and look for them from somebody else. Those roots are in you. So we make sure we say things so it hits you on the inside, so you on the inside know the answer.
They're over there dropping bad beans, and now everybody got gas.
Everybody got gas and shit. Nuclear gas. That's what that is.
Is it normal for the intense feeling towards your twin to dwindle?
Yes.
Feelings, yes. The connections, no.
Well, they're kind of one and the same.
The connection can't.
You know how I got numb not being around you, and you were like, what's going on with him? How can he do that? But I learned how to not have you in the connection.
Yeah.
Yes, you've learned how not to have somebody you're connected to in your life. And you might want to look in your history, because this is where it comes from.
Right.
It's not that it's not normal, or it is normal. It's that you learned that somewhere. Where did you learn to be without connection? Where did you learn to not have feeling in connection? This has nothing to do with them, but everything to do with why they found you.
Yeah, the connection's never going to go away, but the feelings can dwindle.
True.
Yes.
True. But you learn that.
You learn it.
You learned how to be without somebody you're connected to. And you just now realizing, okay, did that really hit me that way? Yeah.
And they can even show you how.
Yep. Oops. Yeah. Well, they jump, because what if you don't feel anything for them anymore? Well, how do you feel about people you're connected to? How do you let people you're connected to feel anything for you, Katie? In other words, when somebody you love, or somebody who loves you, and they want to know how you feel, are they allowed to experience that? And if you say, no, they're not allowed to experience how I feel, that's kind of the same space you're hiding in. And it's not intentional. You've been doing it so much and so often, it's turned into a habit. But the habit has a hurt space really deep inside of it that you've learned to kind of be numb to. I mean, it's easier to be in your head about this connection, but is it easy to be in your feelings with it? That'd be my question. Let's see. Thank you. Grateful. We were working on things, but communication stops things. When I'm explaining my pain, he feels I'm trying to control, hurt him, or manipulative, and it scares him. So Grateful, where did you learn how to explain your pain? Where would you have learned that in your life? Where did you learn how to be in pain and then explain it to somebody who loves you and is connected to you? If you never learned how to do that, how did you tell him that you never learned how to do that? Because that's important. I know lots of this comes from hurt from past. True. But sometimes the hurt in the past just hasn't found healing yet. So we're still making choices off of how we got hurt. We're not making choices of we're not making our choices from how we healed.
Yeah.
And that's usually what we find when somebody's seeing somebody who's married, is that same pain. It's a recycled pain that's making you make these choices.
Yeah.
Let's see, Raven, I missed the beginning. What documentary? Well, there was a documentary, I believe is on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And it's surrounding twin flames, and that's all we'll say.
Yeah.
We're not going to name who or what or why, but if you watch it, you'll understand it wasn't painful for us to watch. It was there was nothing about that was about this connection.
Not one thing.
Not one thing.
Nothing.
And what it looked like is somebody had been watching us and took some stuff and then turned it around
and turned it into
an abusive way to keep the connection away from people who can have the connection.
Yeah.
And then tried to turn them against themselves. And then they called it a mirror exercise. In other words, it's just bad. It's just bad. And it's not right. It's not fair. And it's not, I wish there wouldn't be things like this in the world, but there are. This isn't a business. This is a connection. And that's why we stayed away from the word work, because this isn't about working on yourself. This is about exploring and then finding hurts and pains in you to heal yourself. Because there's a greater love in that space, not just for the person you're connected to, but for yourself. And that it
was hell.
Yeah, that really was. Katie, belief is hard. I really cannot see it. Katie laughing. For so much BS. Ultimately, ultimate lover. Yeah, so much BS. And Angela, hi, Angie. And Ashwini, hi.
Hi, Ashwini.
Katie, the impossible, I understand, a way for the connection, but I don't see it. I cannot feel it anymore. I used to. Katie, when you really feel into what you've done with your pain and your hurt in your life, pain and hurt that you've gone through, pain and hurt that you've experienced, how do you let yourself sit in that and not hide it from people? Because that's how you start to grow connection, not how you kill connection. But if you learned how to hold all those things inside, you learned how to store them in a space where you really don't let yourself feel them. That is a form of abandonment that is really challenging to recover from. I hope that makes sense. And if you did fall victim to that twin flame BS, it is still possible to repair.
It is.
Yeah. That's a question. If you did fall victim to that twin flame BS, well, it really depends. It depends on how you have forgiven all of that, because there's a reason you got drawn into it.
Right.
There's a reason that is doing as well as it's doing. It's doing well because the same kind of controlling dynamic has plagued the millennials, the Generation X, and it's plagued a lot of types of generations following that kind of methodology or that kind of madness. If you can follow that kind of madness, you'll see that the Bible's being twisted, but then the Bible's being used to abuse people. And it's wrong. It's wrong because this connection doesn't know what any of that shit is. So if you can forgive that, you can come back to connection, but then the connection's going to show you something absolutely beautiful, even more beautiful than what they're trying to paint a picture it be.
I mean, I can't, I just don't, I don't want to say too much, but what if you don't fit in the mold, then they change you or convince you to change you to fit in the mold, to be in the mold, all the way to the extreme of gender identity. And so it was really, really intense and really dark and really scary. And I'm telling you, so much has been revealed to me watching that. I completely understand why people are just scared and afraid.
Raven, dark doesn't want this connection to exist. This connection needs dark and light. It needs up and down, in and out. It needs all of it. So when we try to think we can separate ourselves, we have to keep looking for what two pieces are. Everything has a right and a left. Everything has an in and an out. Everything has a light and a dark. What we're trying to do is get rid of dark and thinking that light actually exists. You only know about the light because of the dark. You only know about the dark because of the light. So what we've got to really stop saying is things that separate things that have always been together. Even if you look at how this planet was created, all of these things were here in place that were already connected. Somebody has taken that and made it into a twisted mind fuck. What we're trying to say is that's not what this is about. This connection is about something far greater than anything that's been written. It's not about what history books will tell you. It's not about what we even try to say. It's about how you feel, right? Your feelings. Fuck your thoughts. They're making this into a thought thing, and there's nothing about your thoughts that connect you. So it's easy to keep you chasing connection if I can keep you in your thoughts.
For sure.
We want you in your feelings so you can actually experience connection. And you need connection. We would live so much longer. We would have such more beautiful lives if we just were connected in our feelings.
I love this.
There's nothing about your thoughts.
Yang, and then Angie said salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Yin and yang, salt and pepper for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But before, we've been on here for a long time, but we really want to talk real quick about, and then we can answer a couple more questions about what we're excited about. We're super excited. Lee and I are going to watch our journey.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to watch our journey together with some of you who would like to watch it with us. We're going to be on this platform, sort of like a Zoom thing.
Yep.
It will be recorded, but it will not be published.
Yeah.
It will not be published. It will be recorded, but not published. So we are going to be chilling out, relaxing here on the couch, getting my little comfy blanket, something chill out to drink. And we're going to start from episode 1 with everybody else on Zoom. Everybody's going to be on video with us.
Yeah.
And when somebody
on the third Saturday and the fourth Sunday of the month.
Somebody wants a question answered, we'll stop the video, we'll rewind, we'll explain.
Yeah.
Or we'll stop and be like, what was I talking about? Or
we'll tell you. We want to make sure we really go through this and tell you, this is when we were in our head. This is when we were in our feelings.
Yeah.
This was in our head. This was in our feelings.
Yes.
So you can start looking at what's happening in your connection and go, this is when I was in my head. This is when I was in my feelings.
Yeah.
And every time I've gone to my feelings, that's what pulls them. When I'm in my head, that's what pushes them. Because you got to see the flow of that to understand the flow of what's happening in your connection. Nobody needs to tell you why it's happening. You're going to be able to put 2 and 2 together, walking through this with us. We're going to do this for the next 30 months.
It's going to be
starting
so
this month.
Fun.
It is 111. And that's 111 for just if you want to do month to month, right? 111, that's 90 minutes with us on third Saturday of the month, 90 minutes with us on Sunday, the fourth Sunday of the month. And you literally will get other people's answers and questions that may trigger some things in you, because what we said is we need to weave a way for connection to be here. We need to do something that is sustainable and beautiful and enough for us to do what we love to do and bring you into connection rather than keeping you away from it. We're not going to tell you who's connected to you. We want you to watch what happened to us in connection to understand where the value of this connection really is. It's in the vulnerability. It's in the pain. And believe me, we put enough short information out there for you to get that we cause some painful shit to each other.
We're going to be laughing. We're going to be crying.
Yeah.
You are going to probably see both of us in very vulnerable states. We've never watched our journey videos, right? And I promise you're going to hear me self-judge every time. Like, what was I thinking? But
yeah, we're not going to hold back our thoughts.
Right. We're just going to be really, really
you guys need to see what that looks like internally. You need to see what that looks like. If you're watching, if you saw us every day, you're going to get, that's who's going to be doing this with you, because a lot of it is going to be real time. So for the next 30 months, we're doing this. We're doing this. We're doing it. And we're going to do this in a way that you can have connection.
Yeah. We
don't want you to not have connection.
Yeah.
See, our feeling for you in the connection is what's important. Not we guarantee that you can have this connection. We don't guarantee you'll have a connection out there. We guarantee you'll have a connection in here, because you got to have whole.
Yeah.
And we want to show you how we got whole, because we weren't. We thought we were the half of each other's misery and bullshit. And but there was more to it. There was reasons. It's
gonna be so fun.
Yeah,
It's
really
gonna be so fun. It's gonna be very intense. But like Lee said, monthly, it's $111 a month for 30 months. So we're doing this for 30 months. So it's $111 per month for 30 months. And that gets you with us an hour, hour and a half, probably about an hour and a half. 90 minutes on the third Saturday. And then 90 minutes and then 90 minutes on the fourth Sunday.
So
a whole week. Yeah, a lot of the videos will carry over into Sunday. So we probably won't get done because there'll probably be a lot of starting and stopping.
Right.
If it was like an intense video. Now, if you are one of those that might want to pay might want to just go ahead and pay the 30 months all up in advance, that gets you a lot of really good perks because you get, if you want to pay it off and in full, you get $330 off the whole purchase price.
But you get
an hour a month with
30 hours.
Yeah.
That you would have dedicated an hour a month for the next 30 months.
For the next 30 months with both of us.
And you'll be sitting with us so the goal is to connect all of it so you can connect to all of it. So you can connect and see what choices you really do have versus the connections your mind keeps trying to limit you with. Because there's more to you.
There's more.
This question here.
And let me finish real quick. And you got and the paid in full members get a gift from me once a month for the next 30 months. So it'd be 30 gifts, and I got some really cool spiritual little things. Customized by us. We're gonna really do some cool things.
We've got a ton of rocks.
And we got so much. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. So we're gonna be bottled water. So they're gonna get that, and they also get a discount on any of our programs.
Right.
So keep that in mind if you want to go ahead and pay the whole 30 months off.
All of our programs are about your connection to yourself.
That's right.
So that way you can see what's repeating, what's not repeating, what's being stalled, you need to know your reactions to know where the reactions get triggered from. There's a feeling on the inside that triggers your reaction.
Yeah.
What would happen if somebody connected to those feelings? Would the triggers be the same?
Yes.
That's what this connection wants, but nobody's talking about that because, again, and this is just a small piece of that puzzle. That's not, you do that, then you'll have it.
Yeah.
There's more because you're always more.
Yeah.
You guys can do this. Root camp is there. We're still doing that, but you'll notice that it's very limited.
Yeah.
We want to do more things like this because the focus on that one thing I think was important for us for a long time, because we needed to see the knowledge of what the connection was doing to us versus what the knowledge was doing to other people.
Yeah.
So walking through somebody's healing and getting them into their pain, we've always been so many steps in a different space than where we actually share with people in the root camp.
And so that's going to carry us over to our subscription. The YouTube subscription.
Yeah, we're gonna do a membership thing.
That we're gonna do. So that'll be really cool. And the watch party, it will be will be super fun. Yeah, we're gonna have so much fun, but we're only taking a few, because we can't have 100 people in there going, stop the video, you know what I mean? But we're gonna take a few. So we've already got some people signed up, so get it signed up. Email us at relationshipreinvent@gmail.com, relationshipreinvent@gmail.com. And if you put the code I'm coming up with the code right now. Can you tell?
I feel it
right now. Yeah. Coming up with the code right now. If you put the code CARDS, CARDS in the subject line, cards, then if you sign up from this video, then you get a free medium reading, card reading from me.
Okay,
So
you're going to give a free reading. I'm going to do some. I'm a one-upper. If we can get, all right, I'm only going to limit this. You get the first 11 people to sign up for the first viewing with us is going to go, and we're going to give you a number. The number will come in email when you sign up to do this. And then we're going to do a live drawing, and you will win an 11-hour root camp on me.
Oh.
So if you really are interested in watching this journey with us, you want to spend that time with us and you're ready to do this. And this is just for episode 1. We're going to do that here the 21st Saturday, and then the following Sunday, which I believe is the 30th.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. It can't be the 30th, the 29th, because your anniversary is the 30th.
My anniversary is the 30th.
Yeah. So we need to make sure that date doesn't coincide with that, but 90 minutes there. But we're going to draw from the first 11 people, and you can win a root camp and a whole root camp. But I promise you this, I'm not going to give it to you and then you just can automatically schedule when you want, and we want to talk about what you want. We're going to heal connection in you. That's what root camp is. And I want you to get something very valuable from it. So you got to go deep to do that. Yeah. You got to go deep to have this connection. Just know that twin flame, if nothing else, is as simple as it's a deep connection. And it shows you all the ways that you've been connected to yourself your whole life. That's what it is. There's no other, we don't need to sugarcoat it. We don't need to say it's this, airy glory, mystical, magical. It's more than that. This is about your depth. Yeah. This is about how deep on the inside you feel things. And it is time for you to experience what that actually means.
Salma asked how much to sign up for the watch party. So you can do it one of two ways. 111 a month for 30 months, because there's 30 videos. Well, there's only 29 right now, but we're getting ready to record an update. So 30 videos, so 30 months, $111 a month. Or if you want to pay it in full, you get all kinds of extra perks. So if you pay it in full, you get $330 off. You get discounts on any of our programs or sessions that you might want. You get a gift every month, a Lee and Sherry gift in the mail every month. And you get, there was other stuff. I can't remember it all.
If you want to win a root camp.
Yeah.
If you want to get that session with Sherry, that healing, that medium reading,
got to be one of the first 11.
Now remember, we're doing this.
Either one.
First 11 people, email as soon as you sign up, and let's get you going. You'll get a number. That number will be drawn. We'll do a live drawing here. Yeah. I think we'll probably do that. Are you doing that, Sherry, tomorrow?
Yes. The one entry will get if they pay the 111, they get one entry. If they pay in full, they get 2 entries into the raffle.
Okay, I can see what you did there. All right, I'm willing to make that so they can actually get root camp, which is 3,000 by itself anyway. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'll go with you. I'll go with you on that. All right, so if you guys are willing to do this, let's go. We have to connect to each other. Yeah. This is about your pain. I did want to bring up something to T Rose Revolution. Why does my DM flirts with me in person but talks to other women in my face? When did you ever experience masculine energy choosing you? Because what you're calling this kind of behavior divine. There's nothing divine in that. You're calling a divine masculine likes to flirt with you in person, but talks to other women in your face. What's divine about that? What is divine about that masculine energy that would do that? That's probably my question. And on the inside, when has masculine energy you're connected to given you all the energy that you needed? You see, there's different ways to approach what you're actually asking. And there's even 5 other ways I could think of that I could ask you about what you're saying here that actually leads you to a feeling inside. How does it make you feel when you see energy going away from you rather than towards you? Do you believe that's what connection is to you? Do you believe you deserve connection? See, there's so many other different ways to look at that. So what you're looking for there isn't a simple answer, T. The answer is already in you. You're allowed to have connection. But what does that mean to you? Does it mean you get all of their attention or shared attention? Did you grow up with a father, but you had siblings and the father paid more attention to them than they did you? There's so many different avenues to look at what this causes in you. So we don't want you guys to all believe that connection is easy. It's not. But it's definitely not what they were talking. There's definitely not that. That's not what this is. It never will be that. And we're sorry that that's out there. We're sorry that that happened. But know you can heal and know that you can still get back in connection, because connection never goes away. Right?
I'm going to encourage you to not seek it out and watch it. I really am. I'm going to encourage you to not seek it out and watch it.
See what it doesn't look like.
I just don't feel like they should get any more views, and it's not because I don't care if you watch us or not. I mean, that doesn't mean anything to me, but I would rather you not be poisoned. I really would rather you not be poisoned, because it's very, very, very toxic, and it scared the shit out of me, guys. And I'm not one to scare easy, right? I mean, death was knocking on my door and I told it to go to hell. So I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm
Ashwini asked the question and wanted me to go back to answer it.
Yes.
Why does our twin flame higher self does literally anything to detach us from them before separation? Because your mind is trying to tell you that higher self has anything to do with connection when it doesn't.
Right.
So what we've done is we've transposed something that is in the air, more or less. We're trying to put this connection outside of ourselves, and that can have the connection, whereas that has nothing to do with this. That kind of way of thinking is also something that's out there. Here's the question, Ashwini. Who's allowed to connect to your feelings? Who in your life is allowed to connect to you when you feel high or low? Who's allowed to be a part of what you're experiencing inside of your body? How do you share that? If you're nowhere near there, this question becomes the way that you chase, and you're chasing yourself, running away from what you're chasing. That's all that does, is keep repeating that cycle over and over and over and over. It has nothing to do with where you can actually do something different. So point at what you want to do here, Ashwini. Do you want to have connection, or do you want your higher self to have connection? The illusion is one of those two questions. One of those you can actually have. One of those is going to change your life. It's not going to be what you believe your higher self is going to have. It's going to be about what your feelings are allowed to experience. Do you believe that this connection is here for what you think or for what you feel? That's my question back, Ashwini. That's what I believe is most important to ask you.
We have been here 91 minutes, and we've got fall decorations to put up in our yard.
Yay. Yeah, we love to go get. Sherry is one of those type of people. She likes to watch those little Dollar Tree videos. We go to the Dollar Tree and we take all our miscellaneous change, and we just go there, and we kind of like, she makes these beautiful things out of. We should probably post that, but we're going to save that for our Halloween video. Our Halloween video is going to happen.
We are going to do a Halloween video again this year.
We are going to do it. I think we're still open to suggestions, but we've gotten quite some.
We've got quite a few.
I like the 2 match idea. I think
we're not going to tell them.
There's so many. They don't know.
We don't know.
We're going to do something.
And we'll probably change.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, Ashwini, did he even feel anything? It depends. How do you share what you feel with someone? So what you're looking for is what it makes me question what was real. Your feelings are real. Ashwini, if you've never made your feelings important, why did you grow up believing that other people's feelings were more important than your own? So the feeling of did he feel anything is, when did you ever let anybody feel anything from you?
Right.
Am I losing the connection? And maybe he didn't want the same things or connection. Unless you learn to speak from your feelings, what is connection to you?
And it's very possible that he could just not be, you could just not have a connection that you thought you had with him.
thought.
Yeah.
That you thought you had.
Thought you had.
Not what you felt.
Right.
See, the whole thought feeling thing.
Right.
So see, we keep believing this connection's about what we think, and the connection's about what we feel.
Right.
It's like, you guys, somebody's out there feeding people to stay in their head, not feeding their people to stay in their feelings. This connection is about your feelings. Your feelings and your thoughts have never connected. Right. So you're on if you're in your head trying to figure out this connection, you're already in the disconnect, especially if you're doing it from your head. Let your head go. Focus on what you feel. And we know it's not easy. We could be saying that till we're blue in the face. Yeah. That's why we're going to do the journey thing, because you can see how we learn that space.
I'm so excited about that. And look, you can go on our website, relationshipreinvented.com, and you can and it's already there. It's called Tell All, because we're going to tell all. Because, by the way, when we were doing our journey, we didn't tell every single thing, or we would still be doing episodes.
No, they were long. That would have been
that would have been too long. There are things that we're going to be telling you that we didn't tell you then. So we're going to be getting down to really the details of some of these instances that happened to us. And we're even going to see how our beliefs have changed. Some of our beliefs certainly have changed over the past few years.
Healed.
Yeah.
Some of our beliefs really weren't our beliefs. We inherited them. Some of our beliefs we got from listening to people around us. Some of our beliefs never really led to us. None of these beliefs ever were about what we felt.
Yeah.
None of them.
Right.
But now we know how to have feelings of belief.
Yeah.
Those feelings and how they grow. Those are important. Those aren't even being touched on.
It's going to be so fun because for some of you that have just tuned in, we have never watched our journey. We have never watched
any of our videos.
And
498.
The cool thing is we're going to pop on from time to time. We're going to let our members know. We're going to pop on from time to time, and we'll have our paid in full members, or may even pop up and have one of our monthly members pick a random, not on our journey, but a random video that we've done, and we'll go live and go through that. So and watch the video and go through. So we're going to be doing, I've got some games like that, some little contests going to be going on, and that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a fun, active little place to be, and real intimate with Lee and I. So it's going to be, I'm excited. Yeah. I'm super excited.
I'm really excited too. So that's going to happen. We're so excited. We're getting ready to do our second vulnerability class on Wednesday. There's still time if you're still interested in that. The vulnerability class is about your ability to give and receive love and connection, because that can be very severely damaged, and you find this connection and it goes all over the place, because your vulnerability is one of the hardest spaces to actually experience in this connection, because you forgot how to be vulnerable. You forget some things have happened to you. Being vulnerable. So we want to bring back vulnerability and make it the center of why this connection found you. Your vulnerability is important.
Yeah.
And we love you guys. And we've taken way too much time from y'all on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And but that's how important you guys are.
We got ghosts and goblins to put in the front yard.
Yeah, we got to get ready for our grandkids. This is kind of like our modern family version of the Halloween episode. So we're going to go and probably do that.
We're going to scare the kids.
Yeah.
We've warmed them up to some of the things, but not all the things. So we'll have to put like Winnie the Pooh in the middle or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Absolutely. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for turning on your notifications and hanging out with us. We're going to keep coming. We're coming full force now that we've seen. I don't think it's what we saw, what we were up against. I think we saw what's taking connection away. Now we have to be that much stronger in our message.
Yes.
Because you guys deserve connection, and you don't deserve to be bullied.
You deserve this.
Yeah, you do. You can have this.
You can have it.
You can.
We can show you how.
Yes.
We can't tell you who.
No.